Welcome back to A Drink with Jeff. As you can see, we're not in our normal spots. Where's the 55? Don't worry, the 55 is still with us. We are today operating from what we're going to refer to as the studio. Why, Jeff? Why? Why are you in the studio? Well, let me answer that question. And I'll do so by asking you a question. Have you seen the show, The Kominsky Method? It's a Netflix original series that runs for 3 seasons. It's absolutely excellent. The main character is Michael Douglas performing as Kominsky, a somewhat failed actor who has turned to running an acting studio as his way of making a living. So, he's bringing other actors into the business. Along with him is Alan Arkin in a secondary role that is simply amazing. I'm not even sure. He's kind of his agent. He kind of isn't. It's hard to say. Doesn't matter. Trust me, it's worth watching. But how does that tie to A Drink with Jeff, you ask? Well, let me tell you how. It ties in because on the show, Michael Douglas, as Kominsky, has a favorite drink. And that drink is Jack Daniels with Diet Dr. Pepper. What? I know. Who's heard of such a thing? Diet Dr. Pepper? But there is a reason why he drinks that, and you'll have to watch the show to find out. Or we may reveal it. So, we're going to drink Jack Daniels and Diet Dr. Pepper. Is that it? One show, you say? All for the studio? Oh, no. What we're going to do is we're going to expand that concept and bring in a slew of Dr. Peppers. So rather than just have Jack Daniels and Diet Dr. Pepper, we're going to then turn this into a quartet of shows. I know we were so successful with the triptych on rum and Coke, we've expanded on the concept. We will be having a show with Diet Dr. Pepper and Jack Daniels. And then we will follow that show up with episode number 2, which will feature Jack Daniels and original Dr. Pepper. But wait, there's more. We will then follow that show up with a show with Jack Daniels and cherry Dr. Pepper. But wait, there's more. Finally, because this is the last flavor we could find, we will have a show with Jack Daniels and Dr. Pepper cream soda. I mean, seriously, who knew that they had so many flavors? Anyway, that's what we're going to do. We hope you'll stay through the series. Let's get right into episode 1.
They said they'd keep you in mind for a recurring role or maybe a guest spot.
Please don't sugarcoat it. I'm a grown man.
I'm not sugarcoating. I'm lying.
Action! So what we're doing is, like in our triptych, we'll do the drinking and then we'll provide a summary at the end where we give it a rating. The rating is really immaterial because Mr. Kominsky likes this. So whether we like it or not is immaterial. But we will give a rating to sort of give you a feel of what we feel is represented in this drink. Now, in addition to that, we will also be testing or tasting, because we're not really testing, Dr. Pepper by itself prior to mixing it with the Jack Daniels. Why? Why, you say? Well, because there are already 23 flavors in Dr. Pepper. How will we know what it's doing if we don't at least get a taste for each of the types prior to mixing? So here we go. We have our Diet Dr. Pepper in a Drink with Jeff rocks glass. Critical, of course. Let's see what we got. You know, I have to give him credit to Dr. Pepper. This is a complex, and the word is true, a complex piece of drinkage. I can't name all of the things. It's 23 flavors. I can barely remember my phone number. But I know there is black licorice, clove, ginger, and root beer. And to me, those are the 4 flavors I actually can pick out. The root beer gives it kind of just what it is, like not to be redundant, a rooty taste. The clove, I think, is the aftertaste. The ginger provides a little snap. And the black licorice gives it sort of a covering. The black licorice sort of blends with everything. But you can taste those all. This is diet. I'm not a soda expert, but I will say there seems to be a little bit of a drop off at the end. I don't know if they're using aspartame instead of sugar, but you can sort of taste that it's not the full flavor. Let's finish this off. All right. Ready for us to go on with this particular episode and mix the two. Be right back.
What's her name, Trisket?
Tristan, and no.
Oh, that's too bad. She was kind of cute.
Well, we didn't have much to talk about. You know, she was half my age.
Half your age is still an old woman.
Like you, Norman.
Do the math.
Action! All right, so here we are. We've mixed our drink. We're using just enough to get to the proper mix level. So we have a double shot of Dr. Pepper Diet and a single shot of your Jack Daniels. 1 ice cube from our sparkly, glow-in-the-dark cowboy boot. I believe this came to me from my mother-in-law. Love that woman. All right, so the goal here is to see where we're going with this. So let's take a sniff. A little neutral. Almost as if the Diet Dr. Pepper and the Jack Daniels are balancing each other out. Because Jack Daniels is sweet, and it does have a somewhat complex flavor. So let's give it credit. All right, so let's take a sip, see what it tastes like. Well, I have to say, it's not quite as potent as I thought it would be. I was expecting a little more kick, and I think the sniff is accurate. The Dr. Pepper its complexity is sort of being masked by the Jack Daniels, which in return isn't really able to speak loudly either. This is not a bad drink, but while you could drink a lot of these, I would say you're not drinking a whole lot of flavor, which is odd, again, given that you started with 23 flavors and now you've added in Jack Daniels. But it is what it is. Let's finish it off. There is no burn. It's like drinking soda. So, all right. Well, that's our first one. Join us again for our next episode, where we will take the same Jack Daniels and mix that with original Dr. Pepper and see if we get something different.
I had a strange little man stick his finger up my ass.
You complete me.
I envy you.
Thanks for joining us. And if you like what you see, we would like to see you next episode. Oh, and in line with our acting movie concept, scene.